3 people were killed in Kenya when a 7-story building that was under construction collapsed in the Kasarani area in Nairobi. Nairobi's Governor Johnson Sakaja, during a visit to the site, called it a murder and said Sakaja alluding that the tragedy was actually caused by corruption and impunity in the sector, and offered condolences to affected families and also promised support.
Sakaja said he would ensure that changes are made in the technical committee of approval in Nairobi, adding that the developer of the collapsed 7-story building will be charged in court for disregarding a notice to stop construction and for using unqualified laborers and substandard building materials. So far, 3 bodies have been retrieved, including that of a young woman who was selling food to the construction workers.
Quite sad. Well, the Kenyan capital has witnessed frequent building collapses in recent years, with the government blaming the deaths on corrupt Nairobi County officials who take bribes and ignore mandatory inspections. In 2019 alone, 42 people died in Nairobi after a 6-story building collapsed. From 2019 to 2022, dozens have died in separate accidents of collapsed buildings in Kenya. But the question is, how many more of these losses before government begins to take real action? And besides that, what will happen going forward? Are we going to see a strong measure being put in place, or laws that will indeed protect even the workers? As you can see on the screen there, these are sad incidences or situations that have led to families losing their loved ones. And in this particular building, Olive, the story was that passers-by saw the rubbles shaking. They saw it. They saw the foundation cracking like real time, and they started screaming, "Run, run, run, run." 3 people who were just at the bottom saw them. They ran. Others who were at the top tried jumping down to run.
Too late.
So the ones who could escape, when they kept hearing the passers-by saying, "Look, it's cracking, it's going to fall," those were the ones who were able to escape.
And the unfortunate thing
couldn't.
is that this has been ongoing for a while. Sometime in 2015, they had about, if you check in 2015, Kenya had 8 building collapses and about 15 people died. And after that, the president then ordered that they should do an audit of all the buildings in Kenya. What they then found out was that, according to the National Construction Authority, 58% of the buildings in Kenya were unfit for habitation. That's more than half, 58%. So what progress has been made between 2015 and 2022? This is 7 years later. What has been done? Obviously, the punitive measures are not strong enough to deter people from continuing this, because, like the governor said, the major problem is corruption. Developers who have been informed that these buildings are unfit for habitation, they have not passed through the regular screening process, and at the end of the day, we see building collapses. So what is being done? What is the value placed on the average human life? It's not just in Kenya, in Nigeria as well. Building collapses have happened from the Street to Lagos. Exactly.
Let's celebrate. We just marked
1 year of the building collapse in Ikoyi. Then there was one that happened on Ebute Street in Lagos Island. Several building collapses. We talk about it. We make noise about it. Say, oh, the developer will be arrested, and that's the end. We never hear anything about it.
It never happens. And besides that, it's also mentioned that in Kenya, in particular, there are calls for more houses. Housing scheme is not too strong. It's poor. Residents, people need homes to live in, hence why the advantage is being taken by the developers to kind of like ensure that they could just spring up a building.
Yeah, there is a demand there.
Yes,
so the more they build, it's more money for them.
Settle some of the lawmakers and say, listen, this is your cut. So corruption seems to be the order of the day everywhere.
And I think we as citizens also, we are watchdogs. Yeah. You can tell, you can make reports. You see a house, you can tell. There's some houses that look like matchboxes. You see this house already leaning to the side, and any minute this house could fall down. Make a report. It's better that house is demolished and lives are saved than for this house to come down with the number of people that could be dead. At the end of the day, it could be you. And if it's not you, it could be a loved one who would be in the house. We hope not.